time at Oak Valley, and we had that same conversation something like that. It was about the slow fade.
Hello, YouTube.
And people in their car and people laying on their couch. You know what? Tell us where you're listening to this podcast. Let's just let's sound off. Where do you listen to the Homebrew Guys podcast?
Are you in your bath?
Are you in the weird? No, actually, I'm sorry.
Are you in a bubble bath?
No.
Are you in West Virginia?
We went a whole different place.
Oh man, so I don't know. I think there were a few of you that were watching when we first did the countdown, but we were on wired, then Wi-Fi.
Dude, I'm gonna be so mad. I got this installed, and then now I don't have to use it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So the wired internet that he got installed was running at like 8 megabit, and his computer was showing like 200 megabit. And I was like, "You're on the Wi-Fi." And so now
I need to figure out if
we're streaming on Wi-Fi.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Oh man!
Welcome to the Homebrew Guys podcast, the podcast all about the world of homebrewing, the things happening in it, and specifically the things happening in our world of homebrewing. We both live in a very active homebrewing space, and some of us do other channels that are worldwide known. BC. So he adds a little bit more chaos with his life as he's doubling down on YouTube content. But we are here to chat about the, I guess, November update.
Yeah, I'm reading chat, and we've got the typical complaints that our audio is out of sync from the video. So let's see if anyone can confirm that, but it shouldn't be the case because we're streaming both at the same time.
I don't know.
Refresh your browser.
I don't know.
Would be my answer. All right. Well, what's happening in your life? Man-made mead.
Great question. I am attempting to get a little bit into YouTube Shorts with more specific content that's not just recycled from my previous stuff. I've been kind of recycling some old content and turning them into shorts, which is fine. But I found out everything that I do that is in horizontal is really tough to try and turn into vertical. So I'm struggling with, horizontal to vertical conversion.
Yeah, that's tough. It's because you have to kind of shoot everything center frame, or in post you have to digitally pan around,
which is not bad until you have a full shot of something,
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been interesting. So you'll see some maybe more, I don't know, specific shorts about content that's not just stuff you've seen.
Yeah, so YouTube in the last 6 months to a year has really started favoring shorts in the algorithm.
Yeah.
So we got to play that game from time to time to make sure that YouTube thinks we're relevant. So here we are making shorts.
I hate it. I'll be honest. Making shorts is like, it's just so much less fun than like long form content, especially because it's such a different mindset of like, you can't just go into a lot about a topic. You have to really cut it up. And I want to be able to talk about something in a deeper way without making a 7-part short series,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. As seen on TV says, a message for Mr. Man-Made Mead himself. Some of his D&D friends brought his I Swear It's Not applesauce cans to Thanksgiving, and they were delicious. Bravo.
Wait, what?
I don't. As seen on TV, he used to come to our Elk Valley podcast when we were doing them in person.
Some of my D&D friends.
Yeah, some of your friends are friends of As Seen on TV.
Oh wow, what a small world! That's crazy.
Oklahoma City is the biggest little city.
Do you work at Paycom? Because a couple of those guys work at Paycom. Okay, cool.
The Superfan99 says shorts are lame. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
The ones that I always get served are voice actors. Doing their characters, but like trading characters. So it could be like, the guy who voices Yakko trying to do the voice of Winnie the Pooh and the guy who does the voice of Winnie the Pooh trying to be.
This is the most
weird.
The niche content.
It is
I think
weird content.
even more than like mead. That is so niche. Voice actors trading voice lines with other voice actors is wild.
I get them so often. It's super weird. But like every time I'm like, well, yeah, I do want to know what Yakko as Daffy Duck sounds like, you know? So whatever.
Oh. It's fine. It's just a different mode to like shoot video. And I am kind of stuck in my ways of how I've shot things. So
man, chat is fascinating tonight. Usually I'm not glued to chat, but they've got some big opinions tonight.
Oh, what's a hot take?
I hate that shorts are seen before the actual live stream. I prefer the actual page feed than the shorts feed. And then another person, Adept Nonsense, says, I couldn't live without shorts in the summer weather. Get it? He's talking about short pants. It's a dad joke.
Oh, man.
Well, I got a plaque on my wall.
You did. You just passed 100,000 subscribers, and you got the plaque in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, everyone was saying, like, that could take months. And it arrived like a week and a half later.
It must be on it. That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a neat thing to.
So what's the next goal? What do you feel like? So do you feel like when you hit 100,000, what does your brain do? Because our brains are like number go up, good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like how does that?
It's interesting because you grind for years doing long form content, and then you post 3 or 4 shorts, and suddenly line go up. And so it's a weird, like, gratifying but kind of like stifling feeling of like, well, if line need to go up, then shorts need to happen. But I'm already doing long form content, and I create content for my day job.
Yeah.
But also now I need to do shorts, so line go up. And so what it feels like to me, it's cool. Yeah. And I'm so thankful to everyone for following the channel and supporting. But what it feels like to me is YouTube is putting in these little things that cause creators to have to do more and more work just to keep your head above water. And you can't just sit around making the stuff you like to make.
Yeah.
Because the stuff you like to make might not get seen unless you do all the other little things that YouTube wants you to do to improve their platform.
Right. Well, and to me, what's frustrating about shorts is like, I've thought about taking some of my big videos and turning them into shorts, like the 15 different fruits, like primary versus secondary. But I don't want a 30-second to 90-second clip of that video to go big. I want people to get the full educational scope of what it is. Yeah. If you condense it down to 90 seconds, I'm like, there's so much you're going to miss for the education. If that's your priority. In entertainment, I feel like shorts are for entertainment, not necessarily education. You can get education into them, out of them, but it is a strategic. It is like threading the needle.
Yeah. I mean, for work, I make a lot of really educational shorts, and they don't get a lot of play. And he and I have been having a lot of conversation in text about, like, how do we do this in a way that doesn't undercut our credibility as homebrewers, but teaches people something and maybe gives that carrot on a stick of like drawing them into the hobby. And like you said, it's a tough needle to thread. Like, it's hard to make shorts content that appeals to people, appeals to the algorithm, but also isn't just brain rot.
Well, because the point of shorts is not for you to sit there and think about the thing you watched. It's literally for you to watch something, scroll on by. You get to the next thing. You sit there and think about whatever that concept is, that idea, for like 12 seconds. So like, I don't know. It's tough. And that's what makes me kind of shy of doing it, is like, I like the long form content.
It's more fun.
And for like the goal of my channel being, as I'm saying, a encyclopedia of mead knowledge, like, I think that longer form content will be more everlasting than the short form content. So it's like, where do I put my energy?
For sure.
Definitely in like the long form stuff that, maybe even 10 years from now could still be relevant and not lost in a big feed.
That's since I started YouTube, that's kind of been my hope, is to create evergreen content. I mean, kind of like some of the stuff we shot tonight before the show, of like, does sorbate make nasty flavors after aging? People are going to be searching for that.
Yeah.
From now on. The original video might get 2,000 views, but over time, as people search for it and share it and find it, that is content that contributes to the community, that is long-lasting, searchable, and it's not just like, I turned Dr. Pepper into mead or whatever. It's not just like shit posting. It's contributing. And so like part of it is like, how do you ride that line of doing a little bit of clickbait every now and then? To keep people interested. Because that's the thing. Like, Dr. Pepper wine is a fun thing to do. Is it contributing positively toward the hobby? Other than like teaching people that they can make like homebrew at home? Yeah. Not really. But
very few people are. I mean, maybe some people are jumping into the world.
I mean, there's no denying that kind of content brings people toward the hobby. But for us, we kind of fashion ourselves as like educators and people who want to improve the hobby. And so I think you would agree with me that like it feels kind of awkward to make just rage bait or
it feels like throwaway content. Yeah.
If there's at least not some kind of educational component to it that says like, hey, this is the thing you can do, and here's why and here's how. It's tough. It takes all kinds. We need all the people making all the content. But for us, I think there's a kind of slightly different driver.
Which is, to each their own. It does take us to a great little segue here. So we did want to ask the question to our chat, those people in the chat right now. But then also people, if you're listening and you want to comment on this, feel free to get in our Discord or YouTube comments or something. But we want to know what do you guys want to see specifically? We just talked about the difference between shorts, that kind of content, and then long form content. More specifically, what are you enjoying? BC and I have talked about this. We used to do a lot of recipe videos. That was kind of our one of our biggest producing videos. I have since moved heavily away from those because personally, I feel like I've made so many at this point that I'm like, I'm kind of bored of it, to be honest. But
and kind of all the combinations have been done. You know, anything somebody would want to do has been done by you or I or CS Brews or Golden Hive. Like, everybody's kind of done all the different flavor combinations. And so how much iterating can we really do on recipes these days?
So I've switched to tests pretty exclusively at this point. I still will throw in some other stuff every once in a while. But like, what kind of content are you hoping to get out of BrewTube? I feel like we're still in a weird season where it's low viewership in general.
This is going to sound political, so I'm gonna reserve myself as much as I can. But it does kind of feel like we're headed toward a recession. And so homebrewing is probably about to be in vogue again within the next year.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so we definitely want your recommendations for BrewTube content.
I guess I need to start making doomsday meads.
Well, like what kind of mead can you make out of your pantry? Kind of. Yeah, but like, it does feel like, I mean, this happened during the pandemic where obviously everybody like needed a hobby because they were at home. But part of it was also like, if you can't go to the liquor store, you can't go to a restaurant and have a cocktail.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
And economic conditions might push us toward a little bit more self-sufficiency in that department going forward.
I did see something, and it's not an article on our stuff tonight, but it was talking about a previous one where we had talked about the average age of people drinking is going up because, or sorry, whatever the math is I'm trying to say here. Younger people are stopping the amount they want to drink, or just kind of taking alternative routes to find their enjoyment.
You mean plant-based routes?
Less alcohol consumption. And it's just fascinating. So I don't know that that's going to change, but I don't know.
So let's address some of the chat real quick.
Okay. I'm not looking at it. So
and then we can move on to our news stories. But there was one I wanted you to talk through because you've done a big hopped mead thing.
Oh yeah,
A bit more recently than I did. I'm gonna have to find it though because chat is really active tonight.
that's great. Great problem to have.
Let's see, where was it? It was something about like the balance of hops and honey and. Okay, yeah, here it is. So Aaron Cormier 2025 says, I have been told the spicy note of the hops goes together with the sweetness of the honey. Okay, so they've made something hopped and something not hopped, and they're wondering about the marriage of honey and hops, if you want to talk about that.
I would say, well, first of all, with hops, you have to know you have your bittering side, which bittering happens, of course, when you're boiling. So you can get like the IPA bitterness from the hops, which it's all dependent on what you use and how bitter you want it to go. But the more, I would say, more flavorful side of hops is the dry hopping portion, where you're really going to get all of the fruity, all of the pine, evergreen, whatever characteristic that hop is going to promote in a dry hop. And that can be super fun to blend with honeys, especially if you're strategic and you have a floral mango blossom honey that's got some like tropical characteristics, and you want to add to it with a hop that gives off papaya and lemon and guava. Like those things can go really well together. It's all just finding the right pairing there. And then if you did want the bitterness, you'd have to have the bittering charge from the initial side. You can't get a bittering charge later. That's kind of an important note.
Heat causes that.
So if you're just blending your two concepts right now, I don't know if you did a bittering charge, but that would also play into your factor. You can always add more hops. You can always dry hop further.
You just like conjured a weird thought in my mind. You know how people are pasteurizing mead all the time?
Pasteurize a hopped mead to get a bittering charge.
Would that work?
I feel like
you'd have to bring it up to whatever the.
But I feel like isn't most of the hop matter? That's what's getting.
I don't know.
I don't. I guess.
I don't know. You'd have to bring it up to the temperature that the alpha acids isomerize,
which is like 196 or something like
that. Is it okay? So but it's below boiling.
I thought it was at boiling or something like. There's like a line.
Well, boiling is 212.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought there was a line. I saw some article that was about hops and things and getting more flavor out of your hops, and they said if you keep it at 196, you're gonna get more hop retention, flavor retention, because it's not quite boiling. I don't know. I don't know.
That's funny. Larry said, "LOL, pasteurized with hops." OMG, same wavelength.
It would be interesting to see if there's any.
That's funny.
Summarizing that.
Shout out to Garzilla, $4.99 super chat, says happy holidays everybody, and also a big shout out to Larry, member for 58 months,
almost 5 years.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Hey, let's talk about an opportunity these people have before we hop into the brews. If you would like to be a part of our Holiday Hoedown,
the Holiday Hoedown
is our holiday party that we're about to host in about week and a half. Is that the math right?
December 19th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, it was almost 2 weeks. You still have time to get in. In fact, if you will get in tonight and fill out the proper information, you will get some beverage that is right in front of us.
Yeah, I went to bottle the Holiday Hoedown mead today, and my blonde mini vino bit the dust in the middle of that, and I texted Garrett and said, "I've got a gallon of mead on my floor. You're gonna have to figure this out."
Luckily, I have a chocolate peppermint mead that has been waiting for a seasonal drink, and 'tis the season.
Yeah, I think we've got 3 or 4 sponsor spots left. Mm-hmm. And that's not just a sponsor for Holiday Hoedown, but that is a sponsor for Mead Stampede 2026.
Yep.
Just go to, I think it's meadstampede.org/hoedown. And you can sign up for it there. Or you can, and somebody can, maybe Garzilla or Larry, you can drop the link in the chat. or you can just buy tickets. But if you fill out the form before midnight tonight, you'll get a can of his mead as one of our gifts. And you can continue buying your ticket up until like the day before. We'll make sure that you're included. It's all on Discord. And you can also we're going to do raffle drawings. You can also buy raffle tickets with your Hoedown registration. And several people have bought raffle tickets. So I'm excited to do raffles again this year.
Yeah, I got to find some stuff.
It's a virtual holiday party celebrating Mead Stampede, and all proceeds benefit the competition.
It's a lot of fun. Last year was fun. We hung out, played games, drank
a lot.
There's a lot of that happens. So
good times.
We would love to have you be part of that. And like I said, before midnight tonight, if you'll do that and fill out the form, that's how you get a hold of the extra drink. Otherwise, you can still get a ticket, but you won't get the drink.
Yeah, and we do like a little toast during it. So it's nice to have
you could toast with your own other drink if that's the circumstance you want.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed. I had been really working to balance this orange clove session mead. And then it ended up all over my floor. I was so mad. I told him I took my Blonde Mini Vino out to the trash can and literally like slam dunked it in a rage.
And his daughter was like, "Why is Daddy so mad?"
Everest was like, "Why is Daddy upset?" And Anna was like, well, he had a project that didn't work out so well.
He's just going through one of his phases. Don't worry. He does this around the holidays.
Just like for a moment, put yourself in my position. You're in your dining room. And then from this device that you're using to filter your mead just starts spraying out of every part of it, all over everything.
You're taking me back to when my carboy crashed in that.
That's how it felt.
Mead. Then I lost 5 gallons of it.
I was so frustrated. I texted him like immediately and was like, "There's a gallon of meat on my floor. You're gonna have to figure this out."
The only saving grace of that is that it was caught on video. You can watch it. You can go back and watch the carboy hit the ground and shatter.
Yeah, I mean, when that first happened, you texted me, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm glad you got it on video, but that's intense. And
it's almost comical how great the angle is. It looks like I strategically
slumps.
It just so nuts. All right, let's get into the brews.
Good times. Thank you for Garzilla for dropping that hoedown link.
All right, so we're hopping into our first segment in the brews. This is where we scour the internet for all of the possible articles, things that are happening.
That are happening.
We don't have a lot tonight, but that's okay because we will fill it with other.
Oh yeah, we've got a new
things.
segment coming up tonight.
We do have a new segment.
All right, so this first one, Native American vintners are weaving indigenous tradition into modern winemaking. Ooh. Anna actually sent me this one. She said, "You guys should talk about this on Homebrew Guys." Fun fact: I have that hat.
Oh, you didn't wear it tonight.
I didn't wear it.
And you didn't bring your grapes to
I didn't bring my grapes. Mine is bright purple, but Oklahoma is originally indigenous land, and so I have a hat to commemorate that. It's kind of cool. They are quietly reshaping the wine world, embracing ancestral knowledge of land stewardship, community, and sustainability, while producing wines that honor Native American history. And so basically this whole article, and these articles will end up in the links on like in the description on this video. But basically it's talking about how they are incorporating like native traditions, native practices into the winemaking process to like honor their history while doing this thing that is arguably not an American tradition. Like we didn't make wine here. They made wine in Europe. In fact, they had to graft their grapes to our grape rootstock in order to even grow grapes whenever they brought grapes over here.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, like Mustang grapes are the rootstock for most of the vineyards that are being, that are in practice now. And so there are quite a few, I guess, indigenous wineries that have started up over the last several years, and they're working on like regenerating the land. Like restoration type stuff, and they're making apparently quality wine that like has a story, has cultural significance. Yeah. And so I think it's cool to acknowledge that like they were here first. they owned this country first, and now they are using their culture to make improvements and expand upon the horizon that is winemaking in a way that is personal to them. And I think it's really neat.
That's cool.
It makes me want to get a hold of some of these wines to kind of like do a comparison.
We should be able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
So,
Or maybe they keep
talk to Byron's or Freeman's. I'm sure they can order for us.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to try some of this and like kind of see how it's different from the California or Texas wines that we're used to. So, pretty cool.
That's cool. Our next article, kind of a twist, still about the culture of a group of people, but maybe a different vibe.
You did say you wanted to take this one.
I don't know if you saw people talking about this. I saw it kind of on like a Facebook article someone had shared, and there's some, I guess, I wouldn't say that the truth is now coming out because I think it's always been here, but an article was posted and people got attention, and it basically spells out the fact that the Vikings, while we note them as the big time mead drinkers, mead makers, the historical significant mead anchor to the world, it's not necessarily true. Yes, they had some activity with mead, but most of it was also created within all the storytelling that is around Vikings. Beowulf, like all of those historical books and literature and all that stuff really talks about it heavily, but that doesn't mean that that's true of all Vikings.
Right. It's funny how storytelling over the centuries starts to just become part of history when it's actually just made up stuff that was like allegorical.
Yeah.
Like classically the flood mythology, like every culture has had a worldwide flood mythology across all religions and all cultures. And so it just like feels like part of history. There must have been a worldwide flood at some point because everyone's been talking about it. That's the same thing. Like there was so much yammering about Vikings and mead that has now just become ubiquitous.
Yeah.
But according to this, they were drinking beer and wine much more frequently.
Right. And we had kind of talked about this before, but like honey's it's not cheap now. And there weren't just thousands of beekeepers, in a populated area harvesting honey. Like it's still a expensive resource.
How do you even wear a beekeeping hood with a horned hat?
We can AI generate that for sure. A Viking beekeeper.
Yeah.
Anyways, I know that's a buzzkill for some people, but
yeah,
I think it should have been a little bit obvious. It does take the wind out of the sails of some people because, like, if your whole vibe is I'm a Viking, I make mead.
Yeah,
you can still say that's true, but you can't call it the origin story.
I really like the first paragraph on this article. It talks about all the meaderies that have popped up over the last 5 years and how they use all this Viking, like how pervasive it is.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that they mention is like longboats and longhouses and stuff. It's like,
we know somebody. Yeah.
It's kind of funny. All right. Next up. I don't really know. I don't know that I've ever had Rogues. We're on baby watching duty now.
We're on.
I don't know that I've really ever had Rogues beer, but like I kept seeing this come up, and so I felt like we had to talk about it. But I guess Rogue Ales is finally gone under. So I don't know anything about Rogue. But what I do know is the two links that came up when I was searching about this to figure out why this is newsworthy. One was a Reddit post that was like, hot take, Rogue Ales makes actually good beer.
Interesting. So people thought they sucked and then like,
maybe.
Actually, I like it. So
I don't know why that kept coming up in my searches.
Have you ever had, oh my gosh, what's it? Oh, I just saw it. Malort.
Yeah, I've had Malort.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it tastes like
That'd be like
somebody's licorice backwash.
That's like someone being like, hot take, Malort.
We had Malort on a.
We did.
Yeah,
oh,
yep,
gosh.
Yep. I had at CiderCon this year. I had a Malort or a cider that was aged in a Malort barrel.
Ooh.
Talk about like it was fine, but one sip was enough. The other thing that came up is I guess Rogue at some point posted like a data analyst job position that said things like, we don't do future projections, we don't do budgeting, we don't do this. And it was like, we don't even run our business like a business. Come work for us.
Weird.
And so like I think that they might just be stupid.
Well, this says they owed about $550,000 in rent and had unpaid taxes. So they were clearly, whomever was running their business was not crushing it.
Adept Nonsense says Rogue's Dead Guy Ale is the go-to. And I will say when I searched for like what are their most highly recommended beers, that was the number one. And the chocolate stout was like number 2 or 3.
Interesting. Well,
sayonara.
Oh.
I don't really care, but like people were talking about it a lot, so I feel like we had to talk about it. So Last Call, they're up in Oregon.
Yeah, go
if
check
you're in
them
the
out.
area,
Go support them.
Go grab a Dead Guy Ale.
Buy out their stock. I'm sure they'll sell it for cheap.
All right. This last one I thought was really
We'll kind of take this point by point because I think it's this is some meat homebrewing
interesting stuff.
science for anyone who's really into it. So there are some new surprising truths.
I thought this was
beer and
cool.
wine.
It was kind of weird that it was all consolidated into one article. But I guess it was from multiple sources. So like whoever wrote this article like did some research and wrote an article, which is uncommon in today's media landscape. So good for you. You want to take the first one?
Yeah. So this one's about lagers. I think I figured out how to fix the delay. I just saw it on there. I can see kind of. So I think I have an idea how to fix it.
Okay.
First one about lagers and their hazy look. It is specifically noting that most people say the hazy look comes from the barley proteins, hops. Those are like the main culprits. And really what the new suggestion is that the yeast is also adding to the haze because of the RNA extracts.
Yeah, it's so crazy that they like made yeast RNA extracts, added
crazy.
them to beer, and it helped with haze,
like
haze retention.
It's weird. I mean, talk about this reminds me of the what was the thiol powders and the Phantasm and all those things that came out a while back.
Yeah,
actually at the homebrew shop close to over here, they have a whole like 50% discount section, and it's
all
thiolized stuff because they can't sell it because that was such a fad of like people
that was
coming
like
through.
a fad of like 2 months. Yeah, so I guess researchers added a yeast RNA extract to crystal clear lager, and suddenly it turned cloudy and in like a stable cloudiness.
So new tech, new beer tech.
So all you have to do is isolate RNA from your yeast, put it into your crystal clear lager.
We know you're doing it.
Yeah,
we know that you've been doing it since you started homebrewing.
Yeah, like if you don't have an electron microscope in your brew space, are you even a homebrewer? Okay. The second one is also interesting, and this is wrong because we have on my Discord server at least a lot of folks who are gluten intolerant or gluten sensitive. It leads to tummy troubles, and so this is a new. There's been the development of a test strip, a lateral flow test strip that within 3 minutes can tell you, like you go to a brewery, you order your flight, you dip it in your beer, and in 3 minutes it will tell you whether or not the beer has gluten in it, and that's flipping cool.
It's almost like people are going to start doing that with gluten-free beers to be like, oh, let's see if we can see if that's true.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Because like otherwise you just consider that it's going to have gluten, right? If it says otherwise.
Yeah, 98% accurate. So pretty darn accurate too for basically like a pH strip. I think that's pretty cool. All right.
Well, this next one's not necessarily revolutionary, but it is important information, and it is about that dry, puckering sensation you get from red wine.
Larry says, I keep RNA in a jar next to my bed. I think that might be oversharing, buddy.
So this is about tannins. This next one is it's again not anything totally new. If you're familiar with wine, beer, mead making, you've used tannins probably not in beer making, but in wine and mead. So tannin is found through grape skins, seeds, stems, stuff like that. You can get it in powder forms,
bark.
Yeah, you get any sort of thing like that. The use of it is to help add more of that bodybuilding dry, and honestly the dry puckering sensation that is pulling the moisture out of your mouth. So when you drink a red wine, everyone who has done that has probably felt that drying sensation where everything is out. The saliva is
it's a longer lasting finish. You're experiencing the wine longer because of how it sucks on your mouth.
I think obviously it's higher with those grapes. We don't get that with mead as much. Honestly, I've never had a mead that's had that sort of sensation that's not been a piment.
Yeah. I would say I've not had a mead that's over tannined.
Yeah.
Now I think I've talked about that on this show, but I had a Perry at CiderCon that had too much tannin in it.
Well, wasn't it intentional though?
No. Well, I mean, them serving it to me was absolutely intentional because it was part of a tannin panel. But
yeah.
I guess something happened with the fruit that year that gave it just like way too many. I think it was long chain soft tannins or something
RNAs.
like that. Yeah, RNA. And it was like 400 times more than the average Perry.
He was chewing on it. It was like a
It was like my mouth had been turned to velvet.
Interesting.
I want to get a bottle of this. I might have to like reach out to the guy and see if they still have any bottles so you can experience it. It was a drinking experience like nothing I've ever, like your mouth. It took like 10 minutes.
If you get a hold of it, you should use it for Mead Stampede education.
Yeah, it took like 10 minutes for your mouth to recover. It was so crazy. But yeah, never in mead.
Yeah. So anyways, if you're wondering what that effect is, that's generally tannin causing that. Mm-hmm. Acid and sweetness have their own little things.
Yeah, essentially this article was talking about like the various things people blame on that, but it's tannin, it's polyphenols. Okay, finally, are you ready for this one? Chat, are you ready for this one? It's about sulfites.
You should read it like from the beginning because it feels like it's controversial until you get to the end.
Sulfites, commonly added to wine as preservatives, may influence the gut microbiome. Lab simulations of digestion showed sulfite-containing wine led to reduced levels of some of the beneficial bacteria and increased levels of potentially harmful ones, though real wine samples showed less drastic effects, possibly due to protective compounds like polyphenols. So basically, the findings were that if you drink a sulfite water solution, it can screw around with beneficial gut flora, but wine didn't really have that effect. There was like some effect, but not anything like if you were just like drinking the same amount of sulfites in a water suspension. Mm-hmm. And so while there is like a slight truth to sulfites impacting gut flora, the reality is that if it's in a fermented drink, it doesn't really.
People are still not going to roll with that, BC.
Oh, I know. I'm expecting some emails tomorrow. But
how dare you?
How dare
you tell me how to
quote the science? So it's interesting. I mean, it's always good to like put new information into our brains.
Yeah. Well,
don't drink sulfite water, or like that video I sent you the other day, don't lick a Campton tablet to describe what it tastes like.
Another test that I sent him a screenshot of someone suggesting that in one of my videos, I put up a screenshot of sodium metabisulfite, and they were like, well, you put this up. That's a terrible thing to use because you'll taste it in your homebrew.
Da, da, da.
And so in my brain, of course, I immediately said, okay, I want to do a test out of this. And I texted him and said, talked about it some. The next thing I know, I get a clip of BC who has sodium metabisulfite in his house, taking it, putting it on his hand and going and like crushing up and just like licking it and being like, yeah, it tastes a little salty,
Yeah, it was salt. Like, it's not like table salt. It's not sodium chloride, but there's like how did I describe it to you? It was almost like a burnt kind of flavor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was burnt popcorn. Is the flavor. It's kind of like a burnt popcorn flavor.
Huh.
I wouldn't call it salty.
Interesting.
I would call it like...
I'm still going to do this test because I'm curious to see, of course, and I feel like it's data that would be fun to have. But I don't know. We also did a test tonight, part of a tasting you'll see on my channel, to see if you can taste metabisulfite and sorbate and a combination of both and then nothing. And I will say we had some interesting results from our tasting tonight. So that'll be an interesting video.
Yeah. I'm curious to see the results. One of my favorite things to do is to show up here for a podcast and then be surprised by like 3 triangle tests before we start.
Hey, I'm putting you off the hook. All of these, I've turned these around so they can't be seen, but these are going to, like, I've got bottles and cans of stuff that are going to be shared with a whole new crew of people. You're off the hook for a little bit. I've just had to intentionally rebottle and package things in ways so I can share it more. So that's what's coming up on my channel, BC.
I have like no plans for my channel for the future. I've got a few shorts that I've got in the works, including my kid making a mead to show just how simple it can be. But I could use probably some ideas for the new year.
Hey, if you have any ideas for BC, I have a chat GPT mead that's going right now. It's called the Chaos Cauldron. I just typed in the chat GPT, make me an absurd mead recipe. And it has about 17 ingredients in it.
Oh my God. Okay.
So it is currently out of primary, and I'm now going to add the other like 13 things to it.
Okay.
It's going to taste terrible. I mean, based off everything, but I've already got the label because ChatGPT made the label for me.
Naturally.
Made me the recipe. My plan is to finish it and to actually share it with a competition and just see how it does. Just throw it in the experimental category. Actually, I think it will fit in fruit and spice still, even despite having 17 ingredients. It still have. No, it won't, because there's one other thing. It had molasses in it. So that'd be experimental.
I like molasses. I made some gingerbread syrup the other day.
Oh, really?
It uses a third of a cup of molasses.
Oh, interesting.
Tastes like gingerbread. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know where my channel is going to go in 2026. Cuz like, I did this whole hydromel series for the summer, which was a lot of fun, but by the end of it I was like, well, and I'm not even at the end. I still have one more episode that has to come out at some point, but by the end of it I was like, that's a lot of hydromels. Like you said earlier, I'm kind of done doing recipe development because everything's out there
for videos too. I mean, like, I'm happy to make recipes all day just for funs, but like, man, it's the monotony of like, okay, I'm gonna set up and do this thing,
Yeah. I know. I want to focus more on long form content. Like, it didn't do very well, but my video where we did the 100-year-old beer kit, I want to do more stuff like that where I'm really diving into a topic.
Yeah.
And it's not just like me being like, I'm going to spend 40 minutes behind this desk mixing up 1 gallon of traditional mead. Yeah. I want it to be like a real deep dive into a topic. So if you have an idea for a topic, shoot me an email, send me a Discord message. I'd be curious.
Well, it's the fun stuff. We both have our things we like to do more of. And so.
Yeah. I like the like kind of like documentary adjacent style video. I think those are fun. They're fun to research. They're fun to write the script for.
Yeah.
Like I want to make videos that I get joy out of.
Yeah, 100%.
I will say one decision that I have made, and I talked to both my illustrator and my photographer for my mead book. We're going to we're going to remove the price tag from it in 2026. starting January 1st, 2026. It will be free to download from my website. We have gotten to the point where I think everyone who's bought it, for the most part, is going to buy it. We still do probably 70 or 80 sales per quarter. Mm-hmm. But the information is starting to get just slightly enough outdated that I don't want to draw too much criticism. You know, Ken Schramm always draws criticism for the fact that he never put out a revised version of the Complete Mead Maker with nutrition information.
Does he get criticism? Because I feel like
I see it all the time.
Okay, well.
That, like, the Complete Mead Maker is a fantastic book. We just wish it had been updated with modern nutrition information.
Yeah.
That's the biggest critique. And I don't want to draw those critiques. And so if I put it out for free, I can't be critiqued because you didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
And so rather than going through the effort of updating it and adding more stuff to it and like potentially needing more illustrations and more photography, we're just going to take the price tag off. It'll still be for sale on Kindle. Mm-hmm. Don't buy it on Kindle. Just go to my website and download it starting beginning of January. You Can Make Mead, 120-page ebook will be for free.
For free.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If you want to compensate me, buy a copy of Sip and Savor off of eBay.
He sleeps on a bed of those right now.
I have 600, 700 decks of Sip and Savor still sitting up in my attic. So let's get rid of those. If anybody wants to buy a case of JJ, if you want to buy multiple cases of Sip and Savor and sell them through your Amazon store, hit me up. I'll sell them to you real cheap because I need them out of my house.
All right, let's get to our last segment. What do you say?
Oh, okay. So did you pick a topic for our last segment? Oh, first let's do thank you for your money.
You gotta text me, man.
Thank you for your money.
You gotta text me. This is like
how outdated is it? Like this is like a year out.
7-8 months at least, man.
That's how much he cares about you guys.
Oh, I update it on my YouTube channel like every 2 weeks. It's updated. Okay. You just don't have the most current screenshot.
I have to ask him how to honor you guys on our podcast.
I'll remember at some point. Okay, well.
All right, here's the deal. Let me announce this.
Okay.
Let me announce this because I came up with this idea. So what we're gonna do? It's called Judge Broody. Did you get the meme? Get the reference?
You didn't AI generate a beer with a
with a gavel. This is called Judge Broody. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a topic, and I asked on my Discord server for 3 topic choices or for multiples, but these are the 3 that I thought would be fun. One of us is gonna take the pro side, and one of us is gonna take the against side, and we're going to debate this topic.
And give justification.
Okay? So, is there one of these 3? I'm going to read them off. You tell me if there's one of these 3.
Like the chat needs to choose.
I can tell you the third one is the one that it seemed like people wanted us to debate. And they wanted specifically you to be on the pro side.
Oh.
So, the first option is pasteurizing is okay for homebrewers. Or yeast choice doesn't matter. Yeast is just yeast, as our friends at one of the bigger YouTube channels would say. Or mead fermentable sugars must be 51% honey. Do you want to pick?
I was going to I'm happy to do whatever. I'm happy to
do we want to sit around waiting for chat? You got to be out of here in 12 minutes.
No, I'm good. I don't actually have to. My thing got sorted out, so I was going to have
Sorry, kiddo.
No, he texted me. We're good.
Okay.
We sorted it.
Okay. Is there any of these topics that appeal to you?
I'm happy with all 3.
All right. Well, let's pop over to chat and see what they're talking about. Hi, Shelly. Let's see. Yeah, Larry is first up saying I want Garrett to be pro 51% honey. The silence is deafening here. Do you want to sing a song or something? I really can't stay.
This is BC's Christmas album.
we can do a duet real quick. Baby, it's cold outside. All right. Well, Larry's is the only comment that's come through, so I feel like you have to run with it.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to do a quick debate. I am on the side that you can have as much or as little honey in your mead as possible, and that's okay. You could have 99% table sugar and 1% honey as your fermentables, and that would still be a mead.
So,
but you believe...
Do you have to taste the honey, though, at that point?
Are we debating already?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. We've already started.
You gave your
Garrett in this scenario believes that you have to have 51% honey by weight. By weight.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be any lower. So if you're making a braggot, you got to load that sucker up with honey.
Yeah.
For it to count as a braggot. Because if it's 49% honey, that's just a beer.
That's just a beer.
Okay. Okay, yeah, everyone is saying that the 51% honey is the one that we should do. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so Garrett believes that for it to be a mead, it has to be 51% honey. Tell me why.
Well, you got to think by the ratios of what mead is. If you call it a honey-centric
This is going to get clipped. To just misquote both of us.
If you if you're making something that's supposed to be honey-based, wouldn't you consider that the majority of that thing is honey? And for it to fall into the category, the pendulum, to fall into the category of like a braggot, for example, if it is supposed to be honey based, wouldn't the majority of the thing that's in the thing be honey? Because if it turns the other way, 51%, it'd be a malt based brew.
If you can taste the honey, it's a mead, correct? That was where you started. That was your starting foundation for your argument, is that for it to be a mead, you need to be able to taste the honey. So if 45% honey gets you there, you're still tasting the honey.
It really depends on the kind of honey, and that's like circumstance. I think that you could really do a lot of...
It seems like you're pretty flexible on your stance, sir.
So by weight, though, 51%. Again, I'm going to go back to the central point of that.
And we're talking about sugar specifically.
Yeah, your sugar, your
so
fermentable.
the sugars from the malt.
Yeah.
So say you're doing an all grain braggot. Mm-hmm. You need to ensure that the sugars extracted from all of that grain are 49%
yes,
or less.
Exactly. No more than that.
Okay. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to taste the honey.
You can't call it a mead at that point. Because the majority, and we're talking about...
To be clear, we are saying that braggot, so it feels like the argument hinges on a braggot, not on like a Pyment or an Acer Glen.
No, that's true of all meads. We're talking about this ratio.
Okay.
And I think that for your recipe to be considered a mead, and you run the numbers.
Mm-hmm. To be clear, a braggot is a mead. It is not a beer.
When done with 51% honey.
Okay. So a braggot exists outside the realm of the 51%. But a braggot...
That's a honey beer, dude. That's a honey beer. That's not a braggot.
A braggot is a beer if it is 51% or more malt sugars, but it's a mead if it's 51% or more honey sugars. Okay. What if the honey comes from alfalfa blossoms or wheat blossoms? Is it still? How does that factor into the 51%?
Like your grain?
Yeah. What if the bees were pollinating grains?
Oh, and they're getting that.
Yeah.
Oh,
how does that affect the 51% rule?
The root ingredient, though, because you have the. Like, if you use avocado blossom, you're not calling it an avocado mead.
I am. As long as it's 51% avocado blossom.
It's avocado mead.
Okay, so let's take this argument to its like logical extremes. Okay, Pyment.
Yes, yeah.
It has to be 51% honey sugars to be a Pyment. But if it is 49% or less honey sugars, you believe that it is just a wine.
by the recipe in itself, it would be heavier on the wine side, so you would.
But is
call
it a wine or is it a mead with 49% honey?
Hold on, repeat the question.
So you have your grape must.
Yeah.
And it is 1.050. And then you add your honey, and it is 1.0. I can't do the freaking math. 99.
Yeah.
So that's a wine. That's not a mead, because your honey sugars are lower than your fruit sugars.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a wine.
That's a wine.
Okay. So if I made a Chardonnay and I wanted to capitalize it with honey, but I used just a little bit of honey, 40% honey, and the other fermentable sugars come from the grapes.
You've made it like an
I've just made a
alternative
wine.
sugar wine. Yeah. At that point.
You're going by the ATF description. Okay, so that's just a wine.
That's just a wine.
Okay, so say I make an Acer Glen with sap from a maple tree, and I boiled it down, and then I add, it's 1.01 or 1.100, and I add 2 pounds of, it's a 5-gallon batch. I had 2 pounds of maple syrup, or 2 pounds of buckwheat honey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So it's mostly maple sugars. And then I add a couple pounds of buckwheat honey to give it a little zhuzh, little something. What is that? Is it a mead?
That'd be a maple wine. I mean, you're talking about the ratios of your amount of stuff. Like,
but it tastes like honey. It tastes like buckwheat honey because all of the maple flavor right out the airlock.
Did you use QA23? Because that was your
No,
first
I
problem.
used EC1118.
You just zapped it,
and I added triple the nutrients. So it tastes like
it's
Fermento.
0.980.
So if I've blown off all the maple flavor and all you can taste is like a light buckwheat, flavor wise, that's still a maple wine, even though it doesn't taste
dry
like
maple wine. I don't know. Like you could really categorize it that way. By recipe card, and I'm talking like if you were to curate a recipe card and you were to take it to the numbers.
So to clarify, if you made any of these meads that I'm talking about, and I would call them meads, big, beautiful meads. If you made these meads and they were all 49% honey, the other 51 came from something else, you could not enter them in any of the competitions that you've won awards in good faith. You could not enter those.
Nope.
Because they don't.
I've never done. Listen, I'm 51% all the time. You see that wall? That might as well spell out 51%.
So to just take it to its logical extreme, for Mead Stampede, if somebody entered a mead that was 49% honey, you would say, Rob, I'm sorry.
Nope.
You've got to
take
disqualify
it out of here,
them.
dude. They made just that's a grape wine. You're out.
Okay. How many of the points that you made would you say you believe?
It's like one. If that.
Okay, so to like bring this home, how do you actually feel about the 51% honey
example
thing?
of the Acer Glen was a good one, and I was going to use that for even a sugar wash, like a strong honey, because at that point, you make like a sugar wash and it's 80% whatever, and you use avocado blossom honey, and it tastes like honey because it's super malty and strong. That would be a mead characteristic. I think mead has to have the higher characteristics of the honey as the default taste.
Yeah.
And I think the 51% argument is so like the way I was going at it is literally the way that everyone else does.
I mean, Larry says this is just half the post on Mead Facebook.
Yeah, I mean I was just like playing the card of those people because that's what it is. It's like, look at your recipe, like, well, you didn't use enough honey, so I'm sorry, dude, you've made yourself a wine.
So here's the thing, though. This is going to be controversial, and I'm going to catch some shit for this on Discord, but I do kind of buy the argument when it comes to a braggot.
I can see. Well, it really depends on
like braggot versus honey ale.
But like a low ABV braggot, though, like the balance is so hard when you make a braggot that's like a 5%er, and then you're trying to get your honey and your malts in there. It is like
it's tough.
Incredibly hard.
It's tough. That's why you don't see a lot of low ABV honey ales,
Yeah.
aka braggots.
Yeah. No, I think that I think the argument is I see where people come from. However, I do think it is overblown. And, talking about it's entering things, like I do think that's where it really hits.
I mean, like a sizer,
sometimes.
for example. A lot of times you're going to have more apple sugars than you are honey. Just because you're trying to keep, like you said, you're trying to keep the ABV low enough to be refreshing.
Right.
You want it to be able to be sparkling without tasting weird or feeling weird on your palate. And so a lot of times what that means is using a decent apple juice, but also using a very aromatic honey that can stand against the apple juice, like orange blossom or mesquite or something. And so at that point, the 51% thing just almost falls apart because you wouldn't be able to create that 8% sizer any other way other than to only to have a reduced amount of honey.
It's the same argument we see with like people asking, where do I put my mead? And it's like, what do you have in it? Okay, I have I have blueberry, and then I threw in a little bit of vanilla and then a little bit of cinnamon. And we have to ask the question, like declaring it. Are you going to call this a fruit and spice mead? Or are you going to call this a blueberry mead? And obviously like cinnamon might send that character over. But like vanilla is a good one where like people use it as like a softener. People use it to mellow out your stuff. I use it all
the time. I use it in stuff I don't even declare it.
Would you call that a blueberry vanilla mead at that point? It's like by our standards, would say if you can register it's there. If you can taste it's there, then you can declare it in that manner.
IR the cheese says, I think BC should have to debate as pro yeast is just yeast to keep this even. Maybe next episode we'll do that.
He'll have to prepare his arguments.
This is a good exercise though. Yeah. I think it's fun to like mentally explore a viewpoint
put yourself
you
in the
don't
headspace
hold.
Of somebody else who's just shouting out things.
Okay, before we close, I do want to ask you the question in this vein. How do you feel like a brew that had no honey in primary, but is back sweetened with honey, does that still qualify as a mead? If the honey was never fermented.
At that point, I do think that's where it gets tangential, and you have to almost ask how much honey has been added. Because, like, that's where honey beer is, right? For the most part. Sometimes. I guess they're not back sweetened necessarily. But, like, I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Like, say you made a Merlot. And you're like, I want this to be sweet. I want it to be a nice spiced holiday drink. And so you add a little clove and cinnamon, and then you throw in, alfalfa blossom up to 1.015.
I would still call that a wine, and
wine sweetened with honey.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like I just don't think you can.
I think the honey has to undergo fermentation.
Yeah, I don't think you can, in good faith, say that like this is a mead because the bare bones of fermentation would say that you have to have fermentation on the product, on the thing you're using. Otherwise, I don't know. It's interesting.
Interesting. Larry says that somebody back sweetened a seltzer with honey and submitted it to a comp and got a decent score.
What'd they put it under, I wonder?
Probably under session mead. Interesting. They're all in the chat. They're saying honey has to be fermented for it to be mead. Yeah. I agree with that, but there are people out there who don't.
I think it's also just
who would like make a maple wine back sweetened with honey and then call it an Acer Glen.
Yeah,
that I have seen that many times.
Yeah. Well, like I have an Acer Glen that's going right now, and I don't know that my ratios were 50-50. It's probably more maple syrup, honestly, than it is honey right now. But I'm
not a mead.
Yeah, I'm dumping it. I'm out.
It's a maple wine, man. Throw it out.
Oh yeah, it's a couple years ago I made a video that was about semantics in mead
I remember
making.
that. Yeah.
And
you got some shit for it.
I did, but it's still true. Like it's people who dive so deep into this, they get into Facebook arguments with their buddies and the random people that don't even know about like, well, dude, I'm sorry, but you did this wrong. You did this wrong.
Yeah.
You're not making mead right now. It's like, I don't know.
In one of my early videos, I was like rapidly mixing stuff up, right? So I put in the honey, threw in the yeast, dumped in the water, mixed it up. And some guy on Facebook, I didn't see it, but a viewer at the time sent it to me. Some guy on Facebook was like, this guy doesn't know anything. You never throw yeast on top of honey like that. He ruined the whole batch. And it's like, but I put in the water 10 seconds later. Like, what are you talking about? The yeast was still dry.
Yeah.
Like,
they were drowning in that honey. They were dead. On arrival, they were dead. It's like lava.
it's funny how there's like a set of people. And honestly, this is relevant. I used to work at Radio Shack. That was my first job in college. I worked at Radio Shack. And there were these people who would come in who knew nothing, but also somehow knew everything. And that feels like a lot of the angry Facebook and YouTube commenters are that guy who came in and asked me for a resistor, and when I told him, well, I need to know, the resistance or whatever, what color bands are on your resistor, he called me an idiot, told me I don't know anything, and asked for the manager. Like, buddy, I can't help you unless you're willing to help yourself.
I'm asking for more information.
Yeah. So
I do think it's important to have these conversations, but I feel like there are people who just want to fight. And I know that's true of Facebook. Our good friend Larry in the chat can
he's
dive
always
deep.
fighting
He's
with people. He's a meat advocate.
He is still going for it. And I commend Larry for his willingness to continue to try to convert the masses of Facebook. But
okay, somebody has a test for you. You ready? Make a 50% sugar and honey mead. One batch, ferment the sugar in primary, sweeten with honey. The other batch, you ferment the honey in primary and sweeten with sugar.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I have a test I'm going to do eventually on you that is something not quite of that vein, but I found a honey, one of those little Loran oils. I don't know.
Oh yeah, like a
It's
honey flavor.
one. Yes, I wanted to see if I could. Yep.
Super strength.
I wanted to see if I can make a sugar wash.
Oh, it's not open. I was going to taste it
and see if I can put it in the sugar wash and like fake you out if you can. But
that's hilarious. Yeah, I'm down.
I might.
What is FUC?
Oh, what are you spelling?
GES. Oh, I think it's supposed to say fudges, but I think there's like a print error. I was trying to understand what
fudges. Yeah,
fukjas is.
Would it be bad for me to make a?
You need to make a trad with that.
Make a trad with this.
Yeah.
And send it to a comp.
Please.
No one tell anybody. No one tell it. You won't know what comp it's going to.
Shout out to Levi, who bottled a Pyment while listening tonight.
Wow. Hey, that's fun.
Tasty.
You were productive.
Yeah, we were not.
Get some chores.
All right. You wanna take us off with a song?
I have John Cena's intro for his wrestling stuck in my head for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiler alert, if you're watching Pluribus, plug your ears right now. John Cena makes a cameo on the most recent episode, and it is hysterical.
I haven't watched the show. Is it good?
No more spoilers. Yes, it's good.
It's Vince Gilligan, right? The
guy
who created...
It's the woman who plays Saul's girlfriend in Better Call Saul.
Oh, okay.
And it is currently like my favorite. Like I'm obsessed with this show.
We'll watch it.
It's so fascinating. Like they did, like cinematography is good, but like the premise is so simple, and so in these long like Vince Gilligan style episodes, they explore this very simple premise in very complex ways, and so it's a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Good TV.
We'll go check it out.
Yeah, just binge watch it tonight. You're 7 hours behind, so get on it.
I'll figure it out. If you'd like to watch this on the go, you could of course watch the live stream later on. But if you miss a live stream, we always post these on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on all those things like that. feel free to join us there. And if you're listening on one of those and didn't know that we do these live on YouTube, we do. And you can catch us live in person on video and see all the articles and do all the things and be part of the chat. So feel free to join us if you would like to do that. We will be back in January, more than likely, probably into January. So a little hiatus as we all go through the holiday season. We hope that you guys are getting some time away with friends and family and buying gifts and doing all the things you need. I heard there's a good mead making book that, well, I guess you can wait till January 1st, is going to be free on January 1st. If you'd like to purchase it before then, you could go and find that on BC's website and all of his things. And check out a big thing, Holiday Hoedown. If you want to get in on our holiday drink specifically, you need to do that before midnight tonight.
meadstimpy.org/hoedown.
Check all that out. And then you can still join us for the party any point up till the party, which is on December 19th. We'll be hanging out,
7
doing
p.m.
a
Central Standard Time.
Virtual drinking, hanging out party. You're welcome to join us. Tickets and all that stuff.
It's silly. Like, shirts have come off. Like, it's
mostly men.
Yeah, I mean, I think exclusively men. But it gets a little wild. Last year we did Never Have I Ever, which was fun. We did several raffle drawings.
I will say there was some targeted.
Yeah, it's a good time. So if you're looking for a reason to drink on a Friday night and celebrate mead and celebrate,
it's
mead
a fun
Stampede,
community too. There's a lot of
good times.
A lot of goobers, but that's what makes life fun. It's when you're around the goobers. So
let's see. Ira the Cheese says it's okay. I don't know what that's referring to.
It's
but
okay.
Shout out to Ozzy watching from Europe.
Europa.
It's late there.
Hey, man.
Or early?
Good morning.
It's early there?
I think it's a morning for him.
Yeah, like 2, 3 a.m.
You know what? Vibing.
Yeah, why not, right? Okay, well, until next time.
We'll see you in January, a whole year from now. Wait.
Yeah, you're like that kid in elementary school.
See you next year. On that note.
Bye.